Hey, so in this video, I'm just going to walk you through the review request snapshot. So there's two workflows in here. So we've got the review request, and then we've got the remove from workflow one as well. So I'll just walk through the workflow first of all, just explain it briefly, and then show you a couple of things that you need to do to get this set up. So what we have in here is we've got a couple of triggers. So one, we've got the contact change. So we've got send review request has changed to send review request. And what that is, that's a customized button in the contact, because the standard send review request trigger doesn't work because that's tied to lead connector. What we've done, we've set a trigger for that. So if you go to there's my contact, excuse me. If you go to a contact, you will see once you've installed our snapshot, you'll have this send review request button on here. So you can tick that on and then you hit save, and then that will actually trigger the review request workflow. So that's one way you can do it. There's a tag on here as well. So if you've got a tag added review request, so if you've got in the pipeline or you've got any kind of automation that you want to send it on, then obviously you can do it that way. And obviously you can add whatever triggers you would like as well. There's a quick note here. So we just put a note on, which we tend to do with all our workflows, to say, hey, in this one, the customer sent a review request. We'll assign it to a user. Obviously it's up to you if you want to do that. We'll add a tag. And then we have a reset review request button. So what this is for here is that review request button. So if someone does use it, and you can show this to your clients to say, hey, you can just click that button and hit save, that will trigger the review request to go out on the workflow. Once it's gone out though, and it actually goes through, this here will reset that button. So it will reset the button, because if it's a repeat customer and they want to send them a review again, it's going to reset that button so they can send them a review next time. Okay, so it will just keep resetting that button. That's all that does. Then we've got a wait. So there's a wait here for 2 days. Obviously change that to whatever suits for you or your customer. And then we have a condition in here. So we do this, we tend to do this in Australia because we know that all mobile numbers start with +614. That's different in different countries, so you don't have to do that. We simply do this because we know that there is a mobile number. We'll take them down this route. We'll send them the review request email and an SMS. If they don't have a mobile number, we'll take them down here and we'll only send them emails. It will work all the same. It doesn't really matter. It just basically tends to make it a bit easier, and you don't see any failed messages or anything like that if they don't have an SMS number in there, or it's got a landline number or something like that. So you can obviously take that out if you want, but we just tend to do that here in Australia. Now, as we go through, I'll take you down this one where we're doing both. What we do is we use the standard email, the standard review request email to start with. The reason for that is that in the dashboard, in your overview here, if you use either the standard review email or a standard review SMS, your dashboard will still work properly. So it will count the invites that get sent out if you use this email. Okay, so that's why we use that rather than a customized email. And I'll show you there's a couple of things we want to do to update that email to get it all working. Then we send out a review request SMS. So we'll send out this. We send out kind of part 1, and then we wait a few seconds, and then we send out part 2. Okay, and then you've got your trigger link in here. So we're going to need to update that trigger link with your review link as well. So we'll update that in a second. Then we wait for a couple of days, and then we'll send out reminders. Okay, so we've got a couple of SMS reminders, and then we've got an email reminder as well. Okay, now what we want to do is we've got to wait for 2 days here. Now, if anyone clicks on one of the review links, either in the SMS or the email, we want to take them out of this workflow. So that's why we have the remove from workflow. So if the trigger link gets clicked, if we click that trigger link, the Google review link, then we want to remove them from that workflow so that we don't send them a reminder, because we just have to work on the assumption, because there's no feedback from the review engine, that if they have clicked on the link, that they have sent the link, and we don't want to bother them with a reminder. Okay, so a couple of things that we need to do. So first of all, if we go to trigger links, you will find this trigger link in here, Google review link. So you want to update this with whatever your review link is that you're going to be using. okay? And that would be the one that you would have in here generally. So in your review link, okay, it would be this link, whatever you've got in there that normally goes to your GMB profile. So you can do a custom link and use that in there, okay? So just kind of match those two up. And then the last thing that you want to do to make sure that this email works properly, the standard email in that workflow, we want to put our trigger link onto this button. Oops, excuse me. Edit the email builder, beg your pardon. So what we want to do is put the trigger link onto this button here, okay? Now that is the standard reputation review link. And what we need to do is we're going to have to keep that in our email as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy this, and I've just got another screen open, and I'm just copying that into a notepad on another screen that you can't see at the moment. But make sure you save that, okay? Because we're going to need that again in a second. But for now, we want to put our trigger link in here. So if I go back to the workflow, and I'll go to the second SMS, and I'm going to grab that trigger link from there. Oh, to the wrong place. And I am going to put the trigger link in here. Okay. And I'm just going to show you why we need to do the second step. So if I save this, if you do this and you just save that and you don't do the next part I'm going to tell you, what will happen is you'll see this error come up. Says your review request email does not contain a review link. Click here to learn more. And your email will not send if you've only put the trigger link on here. So what you have to do is go into the email builder again. But you don't have to do it this way, I'm just showing you why. But somewhere in this email, and I'm just going to put it here on this logo, is you need to put that reputation review link back in place somewhere in here. So now if I save this, you'll see that error is going to disappear. And now this email will actually work, okay? So obviously you want to customize this as well to have your logo and all those other things, but that's the important things you need to do is put the trigger link on here and then make sure that the standard review link is somewhere else in this email. So put it in the logo, put it in the footer, just put it somewhere else in that email as well, where someone's not so likely to click on it. And that way, that will work as well. So in the workflow, that standard review email will work and it will go out. That will ensure that your dashboard works correctly and everything works correctly, and then if they click on the trigger link, it will remove them from the first workflow and not continue to send them follow-ups.